Hi, this is the Low Value Man podcast. I'm recording it because what I notice is a lot of men always talking about what you gotta have, but nobody talks about or like they don't say the nuances of just the game, like just saying stuff, like knowing what to say, when to say it, and how to say it. Like I understand nobody can teach you that, but I feel like that is so underestimated. You know what I mean? How to act, when to text, what to do, what to wear. I mean, I understand people do, they tell you what to wear, but sometimes I feel like people just really don't know. You know what I mean? And sometimes we get so mad and bitter and we just mess ourselves up. You know, I can actually think of a lot of times where I talked that Kelby Samuel stuff to women, and I was in the back of a car. It was two women in front of me, and I would talk the right stuff. I probably would have had a threesome, but I didn't know what to say. You know what I mean? I got wasted. I said the wrong thing. You know what I mean? I think about tons of times I said the wrong thing. Sometimes I said the right thing and got sex. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not saying everything's about sex. Some things can be about just being in a relationship, but you still gotta say the right stuff. You know what I mean? And women don't. Women. One thing I say about women, it doesn't matter if they say the wrong thing. Because you're still going to sleep with them most of the time. I like, as long as they don't say, well, I'm sleeping with like 20 guys. You be like, oh, my health is at risk now, so I'm not gonna sleep with you. Well, for me, anyways. You know what I mean? Some guys be like, I don't care. Give me that. But, but anyway, what I'm saying is, this is the Low Value Men channel, and I'm just gonna talk about game and how to approach women. I mean, what makes me an expert? I mean, nothing makes me an expert. I'm living my life like you living your life. You know what I mean? And if you actually think about it, most of the people who you talk to, if they were in a position where they were dropped in the street, right, and they were walking around, and they didn't have that suit on, they just had some regular stuff on, it come down to the mouthpiece. Or even if they had that suit on, right, and everybody else, and they were downtown, or everybody else have suits on, it matters what they say. People think that you're gonna make all this money and women just gonna bow at your feet. That's just not gonna happen. Or they think if they talk about women and they bitter, women gonna come. It's just not gonna happen. Fact of the matter is, right, I'm a blue collar guy, I make 20 something an hour, right? Which probably totals up to 55,000, 60,000 a year. And a couple years from now, I'm gonna start my business, and I might make even less until I make more. But I'm probably gonna go back to another state job, and by the time I get where the high value man, I'm 36 now. I'll probably be like 45, and you know what I mean. But what I'm saying is, what I've noticed is these women are not being quiet. These women are speaking up. These women are voicing their opinion, and it matters to you what you want to do. And one of the things I realize is that it's all how you maneuver in your mindset. And I speak to women a lot, and I gauge their opinion. And one of the things I noticed is it's like a group thing about what they want, right? And when they got the idea of what they want, they're really settled on that. And these younger guys, they out here spending that money, right? All right, what happens is this: they either spending that money, right, or they're subjecting themselves to abuse, and they're spending the women money. You know what I mean? And you got the regular guys in the middle. You know what I mean? And then you got the older guys who are either spending that money somehow, some way, or staying out of the way. So and these are just regular. I'm talking about like from the regular chicks to the baddest chicks. This is just like these women have a certain mindset and they're sticking with that. So as a man, you gotta adapt. And one of the things I'll always try to do is try to figure out, is she selfish, or like what's her motivation? Is her motivation money? Like, do she just want money and you out of the way, or do she want you to be do she want friendship, where she might not want money, but she might want like you to buy her weed, or you to buy her meals, you just to chill with her, and you're like undesirable. You're not undesirable, or do she want you to have sex with her only? You know what I mean? Or do she want a man? At the end of the day, though, they all want you to act like they man. They all want you to feel like they all want to be cared for, even when they're not caring for you, even when they ain't shit. It just is what it is. This is what they want. You know what I mean? And when you realize that, you gotta figure out how you need to move. But sometimes you gotta treat them like they ain't shit though, because it makes you more desirable. It's the game. Matter of fact, they can desire you and want to treat you and want to treat you a certain way because it gets them off. There's so many things that you gotta learn and how to play the game. And I understand you like, well, I'm a high value man. I shouldn't have to play this game. It's funny, right? You can have your own apartment, right? And a chick could be living with her mom and think she's better than you. It just is what it is. You know what I mean? I got tons of stories like that. I got tons of stories where I didn't even have anything, right? And the chick had these things, and she thought she was better than me. And it's like, nah. Women, you gotta realize the game and what people think and what they think, how they gonna maneuver, and just laugh at situations. It just because it's all a game, and when you learn how to maneuver and what to do, then you'll be fine. And one of the things I'm gonna start with, it all starts with getting your confidence up. And one of the things I started when I was 20 was I would get out of my car and I would try to talk to as many women as I was talking to walking down the street, just talking to them, and talking to them. And it developed to where I can just talk. And I had a state job where my job was talking, and it just became naturally just to talk. And it's funny because I actually have a speech impediment. I stutter when I get nervous, or when I feel like everybody's on me, or now I'm walking in a room and I meet a person. So for me, it was definitely just me talking, And I feel like nowadays people don't realize that they have to talk. They just think that I'm gonna show up and I have this money, I am what I am. And the thing is, a lot of men, we're not making 100,000. You might only be making 60,000. Hell, a lot of men ain't making 60, may making 40. All you might have is that apartment and that nice little car, and you might have a little bit of money set aside that you can spend on a woman, but you're really not getting what you want. The problem is when you're that guy, right, who has that okay. Let's talk about those guys for a minute. Let's talk about these guys who have $40,000, right, and you got a small apartment or you got your car, right? All right. And you want the baddest woman. That's not. Sometimes you can get the baddest woman, but you could be a regular guy. Like your stomach and everything can be regular size. But sometimes what happens is you're boring. You don't know what to say. You don't know what to watch. You don't know how to dress, and you don't know where to take her, and it just turns out bad. One of the things that I feel as though, when you're that guy, you gotta realize that you can't oversaturate it. You can't overtalk her to death. You can't overtext her, overcall her. You gotta learn. It's weird. You gotta learn how to call her and text her. And it's unfair that you had to do these things like this, but it just is what it is. And I can try to go over it, but sometimes you just set in the moments where you just gotta learn how to do it. Like, one of the things I always say is you gotta learn how to cook. One of the things that by the third date, I always invite a woman over. third or fourth date, invite a woman over, cook for her something nice, have a bottle of wine. I'm not gonna lie, I go all out. I be, you know what I mean? You know, I just try to. One of the things you gotta do is too, you gotta figure out exactly what she likes to talk about and read up on that subject. I'm not saying if you really hate the subject, don't read up on it, but you gotta find a middle ground where you don't lose yourself trying to please her. But at the end of the day, you still having a good time because this is what you want to do. And if you do that, I promise you that she will please you. And you know, obviously, if you're not, if your personality is different from her, she's gonna pick up on that, and you're not gonna connect. So you always gonna look for somebody whose personality is somewhat similar to your personality, and also too, you gotta realize. Let me see. First is personality, and then you gotta be her type some type of way. Like for example, a lot of women sometimes they don't like my complexion. Just is what it is. I'm 6'2". I'm broad shouldered. I mean, right now I need a cut. I need to get these retwisted. I actually got these retwisted the other day, but she did them too tight, so I told her to do it a little loose and not as nice as I want them. But you know, you gotta realize, like some women only like hair. You gotta realize what type of woman likes you. You know, well, actually, not even what type of woman, because different, like it'd be the same woman, but she might like something different, totally different. You got to figure out like what's for you, what's your tribe, and once you figure that out, once you figure out you got something in common with her, like what's your tribe, and then you can go ahead and maneuver around that, and you know, I guess for example, take if if let me see, I'm 36 right now. It's a lot of single moms. So for me, for example, it's a lot of single moms. I have kids myself. I'm actually not even home. I'm actually at my daughter's mother's house. Actually, at this time, be but the thing is, right? When you realize that they have kids, like I never really asked about their kids because I mean, I really don't care, to be honest with you. And I find it weird for guys to keep asking. No, don't do that. Don't ask about those kids. Who cares? I mean, obviously, it's going to come up in the time where you have to care and it's important. And I know a lot of guys be like, oh, women without kids. The problem with it, like when you have kids, right? I can go to a woman who doesn't have kids, but at the same time, you gotta have it let's say it just makes it sometimes it makes it harder to deal with women who doesn't have kids because especially when she's 35 or 36. I don't know, it's something weird about that for me right now. If she's that old, because sometimes they get in these ways where they think they're the prize and they look at you like you're beneath them. It's just a thing sometimes that goes with that. So I try to actually stay away from that. But I'm gonna talk about the women with kids. Like honestly, someone with kids sometimes they have a lot of weekends, and if you can do that right, they actually sometimes be having some pretty good nice stuff. Like you know, I know, man, they sometimes those be the ones who nurture you the best. Give you a good meal, come over, give you some of that good yum yum, and take that behind right on home to them kids. I mean, you gotta realize though, sometimes women with kids though, they can get really, they can want you to be the step pops, and if that's not what you're trying to do, then you gotta figure out how, you gotta sometimes, you really can't say that to them. They gotta figure that out that you ain't that you ain't ish from by themselves. Don't never try to figure out something for a woman. Just let her figure it out. Certain things you need to do to make it seem like you ain't ish for them. because like for a woman, because a woman wants to figure out stuff. If you can tell a woman that sometimes women all you want is sex from the beginning, then she's not gonna be. She gotta figure that out for herself. And what happens is a lot of these women they say they masquerade under the thing where they want a relationship, but they don't do relationship stuff. You know what I mean? Like they do a lot of things like selfishly and single minded. So when you realize they're doing these things, they're never gonna be fit for a relationship. You gotta do certain stuff which makes you look like you're not fit for a relationship, which makes them back off of you. Would make and it's like a certain line you gotta play. But obviously, you know, you should want a relationship with a woman, but sometimes it's just hard finding that person, or you might not be in the right where you need to be at, and you just gotta play your position. You know what I mean? As a man, I feel like sex, makes you feel good. It puts you in right status to where you can work to where you can conquer the world, and women are the gatekeepers to that, and you gotta realize how to maneuver around that. Like for example, let me see. Let's let's see. A lot of guys, when you a certain way, you try to go to the bar, and the bar actually might not be a good scene because it's it's I feel like sometimes when you're that guy, right, that regular, the best scene to me honestly is a Target, or well, not right now because of the COVID, but before that, the best scene was a Target, man. I go in there, use a prop, ask the lady what she looking at, man. The stories I can tell you about about the females, even the library, man. Man, one time, man, it was this female, right? She's with her son in the library. I had talked to her. Had talked to me. My God, she came. We were talking. Next thing you know, she had came over. My God, she was a freak. My- Man, I'm just saying, man. You listen. I feel like the thing is when you at the bar, right? Sometimes you get them Pookie and Ray Ray style. You might even consider me a Pookie and Ray Ray. The thing is though, when you're not all the way urban, right? When you're not a guy, right, who actually like you're not paying for it, or you're not. Like I said before, you're either paying for it or you get money from chicks. If you're not those guys, certain spots is just not going to be for you. You know what I mean? Now, if the bar is kind of like a suburban bar, then yeah, like if it's your spot, you know what I mean? Then yeah. But where I'm at in Philly, it's kind of like it's either a hood bar or a mixed bar where it be only like a sprinkle of black people, it's not even enough black girls in there for you to even be there. It doesn't even make sense for you to be there. So it's a little tough. But other places where, like DC or Atlanta, where you have like, I mean, hell, I only like to talk about them places because the females in there is so abundant, where you might not even have to do all this, but where, so, you know, I just feel as though a lot of times as as men, we sell ourselves short. Like always be confident, you know, and when you talk, just be manly. Just mean what you say and know what you're talking about, and make her a comfort. One of the things I do, I work with my hands, I cook. You gotta put them things out there early because she gonna say them things that she do. She might even be lying, tell you things she can do, and she might never do them things for you. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, and you know, one of the things I say is get your skincare routine up, look good, and when you try and talk to them, don't be, you know, be confident, and it's all about being a little bit as a man having a little bit of mystery to you. If you can have a little bit of mystery to you, Then in the mystery can carry on to the first date, and in the first date, you can connect with her. Then the second date, let me see, it's the same. By the third date, you actually could be having sex with her, or even a second date. I mean, it just all. I mean, obviously, sex is not everything, but what I notice as a man is, when a woman has sex with you, I mean, she's invested something in you. If she's not having sex with you, then it's kind of like you're just you don't know where you stand with her, and she might be having sex with somebody else, and it just pushes you back. I feel like the sex connects you, and a lot of women always fight against that, and they try to tell you different. Don't listen to them, because they work with what they work with. You need to work with what you need to work with, and it is what it is. Because at the end of the day, women hate spending money, but they don't mind you spending your money, and they think when you spend your money, that's what you're supposed to do. And when you know this, you got to move accordingly. So one of the things I realize is, when we first meet a chick, don't make her your friend. She's not your friend. She is somebody you're trying to get to know, and as somebody you're trying to get to know, don't talk too much with her, but talk, and which is funny. You got to talk enough to make her interested and still be a mystery. I know it's all these things, all these hoops you got to run through and things you got to do like that, but it just is what it is until you don't have to do it. I mean, unless you're just the most handsomest guy, like your body's tight and your money's good, then yeah. But you know, you can have all the money, you got all the money. You don't have to spend that money. You can't tell her about the money. And if you're spending the money, then you're a simp, right? You might even think some of the same stuff I'm saying is simplest behavior, but it's not. It's just that you gotta, like I said before, you gotta make her happy, but not lose yourself, and you still be happy. I'll never take a woman out to where I don't want to go. Like I make sure it's some place where I want to go to eat, where I want to go enjoy myself, because I'm going there because I want to enjoy myself. I never take a woman out on the first date out to eat. No. If she insists on it, then she is not for you. That's a clear sign that she's not for you. I always want to take them out somewhere where we're having fun, to where I don't gotta talk as much, or somewhere where we can get a drink, to where it lowers her guard. That's the two things that I do. And those are two things that you should do. But anyway, this was a rant. This was the first one, and as I go on, I'll go into more topics, such as exactly it'd be more topic based.